What's going on, guys? Welcome to another live stream session with your boy Phrankleen. If you can see me, you can hear me. Happy New Year. Welcome to 2021. This is the first video in the year 2021, January 1st. If you're watching this as a playback, thank you for stopping by. Happy New Year to you. So, if you can hear me, you can see me, hit the like button. Okay. Let's see who is online. So if you're watching this for the first time, this is story time. Story time is basically the segment where people send me their stories to my email address of footchannel1960@gmail.com. And the premise of this is basically if they resonate with me, of course I'll keep you anonymous, and then I can convert the story, into a session like this via live stream or via a pre-recorded, video. It's just basically that we can hopefully learn one or two things, and then if you like it, if they resonate with you as a viewer, you can also share the content with your friends and family within your circle. It's as simple as that. All right. So that way, gradually, one step at a time, one video at a time, one live stream at a time, we can all hopefully get better. Right. So yeah, welcome to 2021. It's amazing. Thank you for the love all through last year. It was amazing. And here we are again. So this one is basically a combination of a few bites of stories from a couple of persons who watched my channel, who wanted me to share their stories and stuff. And I said, okay, I will. Right. So the first one basically was once again, Happy New Year, was a lady that said, so a few days before the 31st of December 2020, as you know, it's a common practice in most black households. If you're Nigerian, Ghanaian, or something like that, most people, particularly those that are Christians and stuff, there's the watch night service, right? It's a custom whereby people go to church and you have to go for the watch night service. But of course, with the pandemic and all that stuff, people are indoors now, so you really can't go into all those places. So most places are like online, whereby you can log on in whatever denomination of church or whatever gathering you belong to. They do the online service and all that. So the long and short was, this lady then said from a Christian background, and she said she then said to her dad and mom that, you know what, man, this year I don't want to be part of the the whole watch night service thing. I'm not interested. I'm finding my own path in life, and I'm finding. Just give me 1 second, man. I'm finding my own path in life, and I'd appreciate if you respect that. So anyway, it became a back and forth with herself and her dad and all that stuff. So the dad then turned around and said, first of all, you're gonna have to move out of my house, and second of all, the whole conversation, according to the email, went in a direction where the dad then threatened this lady and said, you're going to get ostracized from the family, the whole family tree, if you break off from being, a Christian and stuff like that. And then also, he then said he had about 18 or 19,000 pounds in sort of like inheritance that he had put aside for her and stuff. He would make sure that she doesn't get that money. That money would go to her siblings, and she was going to get thrown out. Thank you for the super chat, and Bali. Thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate you. So it became, a huge argument. And she did say that her mom is almost voiceless. Mom couldn't do anything and all that. And she moved out. she actually moved out. She said she's temporarily staying with a good friend. She's going to go back to move the rest of her things. And she said a lot of family members were calling her. Some aunties had the opinion to call her demonic. So I did out of curiosity. So I said, what is it that really, put you off? Why is it that, you don't want to do the whole church thing no more? So she said she's gravitating towards, African spirituality. And trust me, this has nothing to do with me bringing someone on my platform or talking about this. No. So many people already know this. They move in this direction. In fact, a lot of our brothers and sisters within the African American community, they are thoroughly aware of African spirituality. Trust me, they are big on it. So anyway, she said she just doesn't believe in the whole thing no more. And the dad, was basically bashing her and all that. The second story, that's the story, right? The second story was this woman, she's married, husband, with 2 kids. So I'm not going to name the church. They belong in a particular denomination, Pentecostal denomination. So these, for those of you that know, so they have this thing called first fruit. Every January of every year, you're required to part with your earnings and dump in the basket of the church. So this woman's husband is basically one of the what do you call local fellowship pastors and stuff within the church and all that. So she said she's always been like against this idea because she said they hardly have any savings. Most of their monies go into the pot of the church, and because they are both church workers, right? It's like there's a lot of pressure on them. You must do this, you must do that. And in order not to be the black sheep amongst everybody else, even when you're struggling, unable to feed your kids properly, people just can't say sometimes they have to talk into credit card, which means having debt, right? So she then said, come about 28th or 29th of December, she got into a massive argument with her husband and said, look, you know what, man? Sam Olu, thank you for the super chat. Calvary in Jerusalem, greetings. Happy New Year, bro. Thank you, man. Appreciate you. Hit the like button if you can see me, you can hear me. Now, this woman got into a massive argument with her husband and said, no, you know what? Come January 2021, I am not going to part with my paycheck. So it was a major argument, and it's understandable, right? So the husband was like, oh, you're going to put me to shame. I'm a pastor, yada, 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 blah, 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 and all that. And he said, you know what? Stuff all of that, man. I don't want this no more. We have a lot of financial problems, and it's like they keep siphoning our funds and all that. Anyway, so he then tried to speak to one of their senior pastors, all right? And then the senior pastor called the woman. Check this out. Just listen to this audacity. And he then said, okay, I understand your husband said, you're concerned about you paying your bills. So, well, you can sort of, take care of your rent and your council tax. If you live here in the UK, council tax is what, the household, additional household bill, depending on the band your property falls in, that we all have to pay anyway. So it's like the pastor was then dictating, so, okay, you can take your rent and stuff, knowing fully well they got 2 kids and all that. And then, the first fruit, you basically must then take the rest of your monies and give it to the church. And what do you get in exchange? This is logical reasoning. This is not church or Christianity bashing. So what do you get in exchange? You get hope, a promise of, blessing. And this is how so many black folks are neck deep in debt, are bamboozled, are chained mentally, day after day, month after month, week after week, year after year. All right. Now, this lady said she went off on her husband and she said no. So this is basically, as I'm talking to you right now, there is ongoing friction within their family because she said, Phrankleen, I believe I've been a reasonable woman. I love him and stuff, but enough with the religiosity. I've had enough. And I'm going to say a few things. I just want you to get the background to the stories, all right? So then you have these other pastors are trying to say, oh, you're going to make your husband go in the negative direction. I think this exacerbated the whole thing. They're basically wanting her to conform so they can put money into the pot, you know, of the church and all that stuff, which she said no to. So now she's disgruntled, and she says she's going to get paid on the 21st or something of January. She's waiting for her pay, and she's told her husband that she's not going to do that. Now, this lady then said, what do I think? And there was somebody else that emailed me and said they've had enough of all these going to religious gatherings and all this so-called template of prayers in the year 2020 days. And I'm going to clarify this because I'm of the opinion, I understand that some people leave. I've been there. I grew up in church, so I know exactly what I'm talking about. But this is not this. Bear in mind, these are other people's stories as well that I align with, and this is not to bash church, but this is logical reasoning, because I'm pro-black, I'm pro-us, and I'm pro-progress of us as a collective, regardless of your nationality, your sexual orientation. You don't have to agree with me, but I'm pro-us, how we move forward, right? Now, people talk, somebody else, the third person said he was concerned because year after year he would go to church. They would, there's the same regurgitated sermons, and they would tell you this is your year of overtaking the overtakers. This is usually in church. You find all these things. The year where everybody sat on a bench. Everyone has got a truckload of enemies that they need to get killed and sabotaged and destroyed. You're going into the new year with vengeance, with anger, and all that. And what tends to happen is most people end the year precisely the way they started, right? And the long and short of the person's concern is you realize that nothing much has changed in your life anyway. But what you must have done religiously, based on what's imposed on you, both mentally and in terms of customized scripture, is you keep on parting with your money week in, week out throughout the calendar year. You find yourself in whatever denomination you belong to, the end of the year, you're shelling money out. And you're there. It's like it's a cult. You must do it. Now, that's the story. So here is my take. So the first story about the lady whose dad and stuff. First of all, you're an adult, and I've had a similar story before. If you stay with your parents, you're grown up, and then they're subjecting you to emotional abuse. I believe that any human being, regardless of your race, creed, color, as an adult, as long as you're not infringing on anyone's fundamental human rights, you're not breaking the law and stuff, you have the right to express yourself. You have the right to make your own choices, all right? So if you don't want to go in a certain direction no more, somebody says they've seen the light, they want to go in the direction of African spirituality, that's a personal thing. That's you. It's not for your father or your mom or your uncle or your brother or your siblings or anyone to dictate or impose or expect you to be a conformist, right? So the fact that you leave with them, and then if your father is then, one second, if your father is then dangling the inheritance carrot and saying, because AJT, thank you, man, Happy New Year. Thank you for the super chat, appreciate you. It's then dangling the carrot in front of you, the inheritance carrot, and saying, oh, if you don't do as you're told, you're not going to get X amount of money. This 18 or 19,000 pounds is going to go to your siblings and stuff. This is basically they're using that money for emotional blackmail. And any well-meaning parent, I'm sorry, no disrespect, but wouldn't do that. Okay, so if your parents believe that, oh, they can tie you down with X amount of this and this and this, it's then up to you now at that crossroads to decide what you want to do with your life and going on. But I've always said it's the person that's feeding you, the ones that's controlling the puppet strings, will basically be the one that gets to control the rest of your life. So if they can do that, if you then get to If you get married, you have kids, you marry someone else, you know, you settle, they will still carry on controlling your life because then you've given them the avenue to do so. So, I mean, for me, is move out of those parents' house, stop taking their money, find your freedom, take your freedom away, and go do the things that make you happy. You're an adult now. You should be out of the nest. It's always a privilege. There's no crime because some people, for several reasons, they might have to stay with their parents for a bit. It doesn't make you less of who you are. For example, if you live in a city in London, in the UK, like London, places like New York, cities where it's very expensive to get your own apartment, it's very expensive to get on the property ladder. If you have the privilege of maybe you stay with your parents or whatever that allows you to be able to stash money and pile up your savings a bit so you can go get your own property or something, it's advantageous, right? So that's great. But if you then have people that are trying to use all of that against you, your father threatening you, threatening to ostracize you from the family tree, it shouldn't be so, man. I think you should bounce. So the other lady, now let me say this, man. As far as I'm concerned, have I been there before? My brother, my sister, I have been there before. You know, I again, no disrespect to whatever floats your boat, but I'm going to say this anyway, in line with the stories that I've got. Because let me tell you, man, one of the problems that we have in our community is, you see, never mind that Phrankleen is saying this because I've got a YouTube channel and I'm saying this. So many people are battling with emotional abuse. They want to break away from all this traditional, you know, dysfunctional, toxic cycle of life. But a lot of people are too afraid because of family ties. They're too afraid because of pressure from their loved ones. They're just too afraid to jump. They're too afraid to express themselves. These are fully blown, fully grown adults. So this woman with a husband, the husband basically existing, operating within the confines of the union with religiosity. Look, man, this makes no sense. Think about it, man. Look at what you can do together if you combine finances, if you are both contributing to an investment portfolio. Even think about the future of your children, man. But you adamantly want to take your money, your earnings. Are you not even concerned about the amount of hours that you give certain organizations in exchange for what you earn as a paycheck? But you adamantly want to take that money and go and put it in the hands of some third parties outside the confines of your family life. Makes no sense to me. And then, in the name of latching onto these titles, I'm a pastor, I'm whatever, right? You're trying to please people. This is how people tend to destroy their homes. The other day, I talked about a woman who gave away a £4,500 car. It's all of these things are rooted in religiosity. Some woman got really petty in the comment section of that video and talk and basically tried to hijack someone else's story, someone else's reality, and say I was religion bashing. And again, that takes me to, this is a prevalent problem within the black community where we adamantly don't want to talk about the truth. A lot of us are neck deep in Stockholm syndrome. All right, we're the same person that would talk and talk until we are blue in the face, if we're ever turned blue in the face about oppression, about discrimination. But on one hand, we would defend the religion of the invaders, even though a lot of us know deep down inside that we get nothing in exchange. Thank you for the super chat, Mr. Banji. And the least we can all do is hit the like button. Yeah, smash the like button, man. If you can see me, you can hear me. So these idea of first fruit, first fruit, taking your first earning in the month of January and giving it to a particular church. Let me tell you, man, I got news for you. And I'm not apologizing. If you're angry, sorry, go watch something else. It's a lie. It's a big lie. Protect your finance, protect your resources. Don't throw your money away. They are con men, they are charlatans. Now, I want to add something to this. You know, like there's a ton of people, they go now because of the pandemic, right? Most people are doing their churches online or their religious services and stuff online. Now, thousands, if not millions, were online. 31st stroke, this and this. It's the same thing with songs, the same sermons. This is your year of overtaking bad grammars, overtaking the overtakers, the year of crushing your enemies, the year of, supersonic speed, of taking over your manager's job. All of these and these things give unrealistic expectations to religious people. They want to go with a bottle of oil and make sure their managers and directors all die at work so that they can then come on a Sunday and fool themselves about Holy Spirit's assassination of their own made up enemies at work. Do you see? But that's to the side now. So I'm saying this. I grew up in church, for example. I grew up in church and I'm thoroughly aware of how a lot of things work. How many of these gatherings, let's talk as grown-ups now, will call on you or on black folks within the black community? Somebody said unmerited favor. Thank you, Israel, right? Every year, how many of these people have ever made effort to say, you know what, man, let's look in the last quarter of this, let's say 2020. What are your goals for 2021? What are your dreams? Okay, in the first 30 days or 31 days of 2021, what are your short-term goals? Put them on paper. Here is a department that will teach you on how to work on mini goals, on how to adhere to your goals. If your goal is weight loss, if your goal is, oh, I want to start reading one book monthly. Oh, I want to build this website to start selling women's hair, start selling body cream. I want to start selling with baby clothings. If 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 your goal was, whatever your goal is, that maybe this year you want to start building a house, you want to set up a catfish business, you want to start selling chickens. If your goal, whatever your goals are, how many of these gatherings have ever said or basically sat down the multitude, thousands of black folks that go to these crossover services and say, in order for you, okay, let's borrow this statement. Oh, your year of unstoppable blessings, right? In order for you to wallow in those desired unstoppable blessings, sorry, what plans have you got for 2021? Do you have your to-do list? What's your short-term goal? What is it that you want to achieve in 2021? What do you have on paper? Name 3 things that you have on your mind, at least, to achieve in 2021. Okay, so I'll give an example because I was talking to my wife not too long ago. Take, for example, this is a hypothetical example. So a gentleman works as a security guard. Yeah, you work as a security guard here in the UK. Maybe you earn £7 an hour, £8 an hour, or £9 an hour, or you work as a carer, whatever. So the long and short is you desperately want to improve yourself, right? Which is great, which is admirable. Now, if you are looking, maybe, for example, you want to become a project manager, right? So rather than being trapped in a religious gathering where you're banging your head against the wall, you're talking about, oh, I want to this year overtake the overtakers. I claim my millions in the name of such and such. I don't understand how you can claim your millions in the name of such and such when you have no goals, you have no plans. So let's say you want to get into project management. Oh, you would love to become a project manager. Wouldn't it be nice if you had a consultation with a mentor or trainer in that field that says, oh, listen, you cannot become a project manager overnight, okay? But within a short space of time, you can definitely become a project support or project coordinator in the IT sector, in the finance sector, or whatever, right? Now, in order for you to become a project coordinator, you need to be Prince 2 certified, at least have Prince 2 Foundation professional training, and this and this and this. Do you know how to use Microsoft Excel? Listen, go on Udemy, go on any of these sites, download this program, download these materials. You know, when you go to your security job, you work 12 hours a day. Make sure before you lay your head at night, at least an hour or two, try your hands on Microsoft Excel, start learning how to use these tools. By the time you've done that for the next 3 months, let's say you had that goal from September 2020, yeah, going into 2021. Imagine from September to December 31st, you would have learned 2 or 3 things. You would have learned how to use Microsoft Project. You would have learned how to use PowerPoint. You would have start reading and start reading project management related materials. So even if you go to your security job during your lunch break at work, you're able to flip through 3 pages and stuff like that. I'm going somewhere with this, right? You see what I'm saying? You have a plan. So you spend the last 3 to 4 months in 2020, preparing, prepping, reading. On weekends, you spend more time. You're collaborating with like minds. People are showing you stuff. You then go and do your Prince 2 exam. You get your Prince 2 foundation. You get help with your CV and stuff. You can then plug yourself into that market, into that industry. You then stand a very high chance of being put forward for job interview by recruiters, right? And if you do well, you're able to fight tooth and nail. You might be able to land a project coordinator job. It might be a permanent position, or it might be a contract role that pays £180 a day or £200 a day, depending on what part of the country and stuff like that. And realistically, you'd realize that you have propelled yourself. The transition will be absolutely jaw-dropping, because why? You've gone from being a security guard who is parking shopping baskets, who is being treated like a doormat in a shopping mall, who everybody and their mama can talk to in a disrespectful manner. You've plugged yourself into a professional environment. Does that make sense? So you starting as a project coordinator means you can then be able to advance your career from there. You can then work of a year to become a PMO analyst, and that's a pathway to becoming a project manager, because you cannot become a project manager overnight. Does that make sense? So the long and short of what I'm saying is, the security guard man has a plan. It's the same thing. Maybe you want to start a cooking business to elevate yourself. Maybe you and your husband want to start, you want to build a business, you want to build a house. It could be whatever that floats your boat. People have no goals, no guidelines. These religious charlatans dominate your minds, and they lie to us day in, day out. And in exchange for the bamboozling and the mental chains, they make sure that you repeatedly part with your money. And I'm telling you, man, this is why some of the best minds, some of our people that could have been the best minds and been gravy, a lot elevated than where they are today. This is why a lot of our people remain at the bottom end of the spectrum. This is not religion bashing. Think about it. When an institution is asking you, they have the audacity, a church, a gathering, that in the month of January, you should part with your salary in the name of what do you call it now? In the name of first fruit. Because the only winner in that picture is, just imagine there are 500 church members. They take my first fruit, they take my wife's first fruit, they take the next person and the next person and the next person, plus your tithe, and they take everybody's money. The only people that win and win again are the charlatans that are running those gatherings. It's as simple as that. Somebody's winning, somebody's benefiting from your own financial recklessness, from your own foolishness. So this is why I've said it before in previous contents for those that have been watching me for a minute. This is why a lot of homes, a lot of relationships, a lot of lives are shattered. Religiosity. And that's why in certain families, when you question them, when you challenge, when you think, when you dare to even think outside the box, they call you the black sheep. They even say things like you're demonic. They say you are arrogant. They say all sorts. They have all sorts of nasty adjectives for you, all because you dare to, think differently, or you challenge this age-old cultural toxicity. Let me look at some of the comments here. Somebody said nobody's putting their hands in my pocket. I'm just saying. A lot of people are, they what do you call it, man? For example, think about it, man. I can imagine someone, you're in the confines of relationship with somebody that you love. One of the worst things that can happen, myself and my missus, we talk about it, we do chuckle about this sometimes. One of the worst things that can happen to you is if you're married to someone or you're dating someone and they are, one of you is a religious nut job. Look, there is no way in the world that you'll be able to agree on sensible things. Just logical reasoning, just adult conversations about, hey, babe, let's do X, Y, Z. Let's put X amount of money together. If you have a religious nut job in a relationship, because all they want to do is cut away with the finances, give the best of their time. Oh, we can't do this. Oh, you can't smash me from the back just because the pastor said that. Oh, we can't make love in the car because we're going to hell. Imaginary hellfire. Oh, no, we can't do that because of this, because they will find a customized scriptural backing for that nonsense. And it destroys a lot of lives, man. It destroys a lot of people's lives. Believe me. Somebody said Phrankleen is mentoring us, man. Look, man, I'm also learning. Okay. I appreciate the very nice words. I never project myself as an epitome of knowledge. Trust me, man. But I think where this is coming from, aside from the stories that I get from people, is I'm just sick and tired of being sick and tired, man. Let me tell you, man, my inbox, my emails bombarded with all sorts of stories. People have had enough. There are women who are like, it's almost like their marriages have become entrapments because they don't want to do the religious crap no more. The man is a religious nut job. They got kids, they're broke. He's taking all the money, giving it to the church in exchange for hope. The kind of union that you belong to, that they don't have the template for success. They're not interested in the nitty-gritty of your life or your welfare, man. You should run. It's facts, man. I don't care, man. You look at all the religious acrobatics on the stage, it's all lies. The long and short of everything, they dance around, all the acrobatics, the spirits coming through the chimney, the drum set, the keyboard, all the drama, all the sing songs. The end note is they want your money, and the cycle goes over and over and over and over. There's only one winner. You get what I'm saying? This is a brand new year for me, for you, for all of us, all right? It's like a brand new canvas, for us to sort of like start afresh and stuff. Whatever goals you have, my earnest, prayer for you is everything works out fine. And for me, I have my own cross to bear, got my own challenges, got my own desires and stuff. But the worst you can ever do, man, is, no goals. Somebody said to me in an email, I remember this one, a gentleman, he was saying, like, I have a few ideas, but I don't even know how to organize myself. It's interesting. It's the truth. Somebody might be watching this now. Maybe you have a few ideas, but you don't know how to do a to-do list. How do I even, map out my goals so I can see them on paper? Guess what? You are on the right platform. YouTube. Type in the search bar, how to set up a to-do list, how to list my short-term goals. I can assure you, you will find powerful videos that will show you within few minutes. And then you'll be like, interesting. Because sometimes when we map out our goals, and I'm saying it, I put my hand up, I've been there. You can have 1,000,001 ideas in your head. And I've been there. I'm actually a victim of that. If you don't put them down, they're in your head, and then you get distracted. Everyday life, you're doing something else, you ignore them, you forget about it, you're doing something else, and then you remember again, I'm going to go back to that. Something else takes your attention. But for example, when I was talking about the example of the gentleman who might want to go into project management, who's working as a security guard, maybe your short-term goal in the next 30 days is to pick up a material about a book about what is project management, or you're reading 2 books concurrently. You're reading about getting a rudimentary understanding into what project management is, and at the same time you're reading a book about Prince 2, so that by the time you've read the Prince 2 book from the 1st of January to the 31st of January, sometime in February, you should be thinking of how to book your Prince 2 exams. And if you do it well, you pass, you have your Prince 2 Foundation certification. If you then want to go for the practitioner, that's onto you. For some jobs, you don't need to have a practitioner certificate. Do you see what I'm saying? And this is how you can actually see your short-term goal actually come to fruition, rather than some people telling you to congregate in a room, selling you false hopes, year after year, days after days, week after weeks, and lying and taking your money. And then a lot of people, it's just the same thing. For example, there's a woman that watches my channel. Check this out. She watches my channel. She said, Phrankleen, I sell women's clothing, bags and stuff. Said, but the problem is I want to make use of Instagram. I want to be able to sell online. Said, but I'm not that tech savvy. I don't even know what to do, how to go about it. Let me tell you, man, there is an abundance of information online. Doesn't make you less of who you are, even if you can't really work an iPhone properly. Just go online on Google. Even if you look, this is an iPhone 11. If you're looking for a material on how to use an iPhone 11, there are videos about it. If you want to learn how to braid, and maybe the basics is what you want to understand first of all, there are materials online. How to use Instagram, how to set up an account, how to promote a business on Instagram. There are helpful materials. Just make out time, rather than giving away your first fruit and remaining in religious bondage. That's facts, man. Some of you already have your debts now from the heavily commercialized Christmas holiday. January is when the reality kicks in. A lot of people are in debt as we speak. That's a JBC. The winners are the businesses. A lot of you have been forced into a tight corner. You've maxed out your credit cards. Some of you have even traveled back to Africa on your credit cards. Some of you are coming back now in early January. You're broke as hell. The rents are due, the mortgage is due, the car notes is due, the taxes are due. Thank you, JB, for the super chat. Right? You're broke as hell. Somebody has the audacity. Your children, they need new school shoes. They need food on the table. Then somebody's out now asking you to part with your first fruit. You need to convince yourself that if I give this first fruit, that's when the sky daddy will bless me adequately. It's a lie. Lastly, I'll say this and then we wrap up. There's a woman has immigration problem within our community. A lot of you can relate to this. She is herself and husband, right? They are living in the shadow of the system. They are broke, even have enough money as we speak to pay lawyer, a lawyer, an immigration expert to help them put their application together to the UK immigration department. In addition to that, they will have to pay the relevant fees to the UK immigration department. They are doing odd jobs. The pandemic has wiped out a lot of their jobs. They are broke. They are living in the shadow system. Guess what? They belong in a church where the pastor said, in order for God to grant them their papers, they should be committed to £200 sacrificial, as an Isaac offering on a monthly basis for the next 12 months. And they are parting with £200 to that church on a monthly basis religiously. That's madness. That's madness. Think about it. You don't even have enough money. Look at the foolishness. You don't have enough money to file your application to the relevant immigration department here in the UK. You haven't got enough money to pay your lawyer. A pastor, a self-proclaimed pastor, said, pay the church £200 monthly as Isaac offering. Bollocks. And when I met the woman on the high street and I said, how long have you been paying this? She said, oh, Phrankleen, we've been paying this now. By January, it will be 5 months. So basically, if they pay the £200 this month, they've already given £1,000. You look at the foolishness to the church. At the time they've done that for 12 months, you can do the maths. It's a lie. And then I asked her a question. I said, in addition to the £200 a month, do you pay your offering to the church? She said, yes. Do you pay a tithe? She reluctantly said, yes. So how much money do you have saved? She just shook her head. And I could see the pain. I could see the agony. Because for those of you that are quick to say, oh, Phrankleen, religious bashing. You're probably one of those charlatans that are robbing the gullible people, or you're just naturally stupid yourself. I mean, how do you begin to help people like that? It's bad enough that they live in the shadow of the system. I mean, that it's their own doing. That's a totally different, conversation. Somebody can sit somewhere and prey on your vulnerability, your heightened foolishness, and fleece you and rub you blind. You're parting with £200 monthly and hoping that some miracle will happen because some man said so. That money is going to the pastor's pockets. So imagine there is 20 of you like that, just 20 of you within the church. Just look at how much money they cream off you. That money could change your own life. You could put that money in savings towards your own immigration fees to take your application to the relevant department. But no. I'm just giving you an example, man. Let me tell you, man. Once upon a time, years ago, I used to belong in a denomination where you would religiously cut a tenth of your money, your salary, and give it to them when we had problems. I had a particular issue at the time. All I wanted to do was to go have a chat with the pastor. Just, as you do, just finding somebody to offload your emotional palaver. And I remember sitting in the said pastor's living room. The wife was pacing in the background, trying to listen to why I was in their house, what I wanted to discuss with her husband. As soon as she deduced that, it would appear that I having whatever truckload of problems I was dealing with at the time. She didn't even hide her feelings. They couldn't wait for me to get out the door because, they're not there to really bestow, throw compassion at you. They're there to take. So you're instantaneously seen and labeled as being a problem, really. So the woman was just like, after Oro Juni, they tolerated me for like 30 minutes. I mean, my nature, I remember at the time, one of the most embarrassing moments of my life. I will never forget, man. I sat in the man's sitting room. I was talking, blow grammar, seriously. I was talking passionately about what was happening, where we were, what was going on. People deal with stuff. And he was like, oh, all right, brother Tokumbo, what's the problem? I'll see what I can do. And you know what was funny? In a very patronizing manner, I was going to step out of the door. I did not go there to beg for money. The man just slipped £10 into my pocket. Manage that. God bless you. So I was startled. Then I used to drive a Ford Focus then, a Ford Focus. Then he dipped his head out of the door. So he saw my car because I just parked adjacent to their house. I was like, Ford Focus, nice car. If you want to sell that one, that would go towards fixing your problem, and then the family can still come to church. And I'm like, sorry, what? Dude is already telling me there in the coded terms that sell that car and then route some of that money to the church, and then you should be all right. And I remember getting home, I told my missus, and she was just like, you're the one who took your legs to their house. And that's just a personal, story, man. But what I'm bringing out of that is these people don't care. They don't care, man. I was shocked. I've never felt so insulted. I didn't go there to ask for money. It wasn't even money, no. Man put £10 in my hand, like, oh, yeah. But I remember when I was getting my wages back then, I'd religiously cut a check, my tithe. Boom. They would take your money, man. You have a problem with your rent and go to them. You have a problem with feeding your children. They would see you as a problem. If they help you once, twice, one nice here. Once they help you once, twice, maximum 3 times and stuff, they start, you're seen as stay over there though. That's when you realize most of the phone calls start going voicemail. It's human nature, man. Let me look at some of your comments on here, man. Anything about Bible in fact says faith without work is dead. My last girlfriend this year is a religious woman. All you have to tell her is you believe in Jesus and you can smash. I tried to save her, and that's where I messed up. Hey, yo, all you had to tell her is you believe in Jesus and you can smash. Wow. That's really cunning, right? But hey, let me read, man. Every time I went to my ex-girlfriend church, I disagree with the pastor's message. He had the nerve to call himself the voice of God. No need for prayer. If what I do doesn't work, then it doesn't work. We're not putting any. Most of these guys who defend pastors are also beneficial of income from church. Of course, man. What are you saying? In fact, let me tell you something, man. I'm gonna wrap up on this. Let me tell you something. Did you know that within the Black community, and I'm sure a lot of you know this, one of the easiest means to fleece people, is to listen, you don't have to go to any pastoral college, is to self-brand yourself. Just self-brand as a pastor or whatnot, be nicely dressed, be a bit articulate, get one or two scriptures and stuff in your head, be able to come out with a church speak, learn to listen to people, learn to bamboozle them, emphasize, elaborate, exaggerate on some popular scriptures and stuff. Start live streaming on YouTube, start live streaming on Facebook, right? And wait. People are going to come rushing. They'll start consulting you. You see, what these emphasize is the level of blindness within our community. It's unbelievable. You don't even have to call yourself pastor. Just take, I could go online and go and look for a message right now. Just emphasize on it. Articulate yourself. Take one or two stories that I know will resonate with people. It's called playing on people's minds. They will start throwing money at you. In fact, people will force consultations on you. They will. That's why there's a lot of con men. And we have, I don't have any regret saying this, we have a lot of lazy men in our society. We have a lot of lazy men in our society, whereby, fam, if they can't go the career path, like they're not that academic, they can't, one of the easiest way is to just set up shop in our community. There's a lot of us here. There's a huge target audience. Tell people what they want to hear, and the coins will start coming in. Believe me, man. It's very easy. I can't for the life of me, where somebody would have the nerve to be able to tell you how to behave within the confines of when to make love to your husband, deprive your wife of love making, and you think that's normal? It's a mental health problem, man. Of course, it's a business. I say to people, man, a lot of the churches you go to, yes, we use the word church. They are franchises. It's a business. It's a business center. It's a business center, man. It's a business center. The one thing you get in exchange is hope. It's a business center. I think it's very important to, start the year off like this. As much as I've got my own goals, I'm sure there's a lot of brilliant minds, very smart people, brainy, educated people watching me. So, but I think it's just nice that we have this type of conversation to kick off the wonderful 2021, and we remain optimistic that this will be a great year for everyone. Okay, doesn't mean we all don't have the shoe hurts. We all still have some baggages of to-do list, pending issues that we're dealing with from the previous years. Things. This is life. Okay, but all these lies about there's an express way of blessings and you're going to wake up into it just because it's the 1st of January. There is a truckload of this and this, and it's the same lies. The same lies year in, year out. Has your pastor ever called you, booked an appointment and say, bro, hey man, I know you've been coming to this church, you've dedicated, you've been donating money, you're committed to a particular department. What are your goals, man? Come, let me work with you, man. You need a business plan. I know someone that can help you work on your business plan. You need what? You're this. And the worst part is, some people are watching this and say, oh, Phrankleen, I belong in a church where, the pastor, actually, they normally have occasional conferences where they help people work on their CVs. They give you details of job sites. They tell blah, blah, blah. Some of them, they use that. It's a disguised evangelism. I see it on social media. They'll tell you such and such church in London, for example, or in Manchester, on the 26th of January, they're having a program. Oh, if you want to get into project management, if you want to change your career, oh, you want to become an entrepreneur, you want to set up your own business, we have this 2-day program. We have experts coming. We're going to help you. All of this is disguised evangelism. is to reel you in. You go there, you eat jollof rice. Don't jelly like yeah. I like general. I will train. Cause 5 zones. Lord jollof rice. I tell you. They reel you in. It's disguised recruitment. They make you feel good about yourself. Oh, this is your first time here. They give you notepad and pen. They put you in a special room. They give you a bottle of Coke. Oh, nice. I really like your shoes. Oh, let's hold hands. Thank you, Heavenly Father. We bless you. We give you praise. We thank you for your brothers and sisters that have come here to join us for the first time. Thank you. We give you praise as they go to their respective homes today. Yada, yada, yada. Blah, blah, blah. Oh, thank you so much. Nice to meet you. We'll be expecting you next Sunday. Think about it. If 150 people attended that program and 35 or 40 of you decide to join the church, they've done well. And in the process, what do they normally do? They gather your data. How can I get you to fill this form? They get your phone numbers, they get your addresses, your email addresses, so they can carry on bombarding you. It's marketing. They give you puff puff and the meat pie, and you're there blowing grammar. I know. The things that are going on in Nigeria now is Buhari, but we give God the praise. You're eating puff puff. You're talking about it's all psychology. Thank you. Because the end goal is to make sure they reel you in. We used to go to a particular church in a particular city here in England years ago. So because the church was situated where you had university in the jurisdiction, by 2 universities, right? So they were very clever because you had hundreds, if not thousands, international students, right? Black students. They come across Africa, Nigeria, Ghana, Zimbabwe, all African countries. They will come, right? They come to the UK. They'll come to this particular city in Leeds. They will come to Leeds, for their master's degree, for their degrees and stuff. Most of them, 98% of them, after their masters, they're going back. So every year during the recruitment process, registration process, the church will go get a stand within the university. They'll display their brand. They have their coolers of jollof rice and all their fried plantain and all the turkey, the gizzard and all the things. So it's natural. You're coming from Africa. You're used to Pentecostal settings anyway. Oh, nice. Oh, this is the Nigerian church. Oh, this is nice. So, hello, Pastor. God bless you. Welcome. This is for your Sunday services. This and this and this. They will distribute. Don't forget, the university are strictly concerned about business because they pay the university like £500-600 to set up a gazebo, right? To buy a spot. So all of these money spent for the gazebo cost them nearly, plus VAT, nearly £1,000. They have to claw back that money via your offerings, via your tithes, via your foolishness, right? So they then go, they give you jollof rice and make you feel good. They give you the leaflets, the addresses. What's going to happen on Sunday? The church will be bombarded. Phrankleen, wishing you and your family the best. Make great plans for 2021 and be happy because that equals good health. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate you for the super chat, right? They get all your money, you come. So at the end of the next year, when you're done with your master's program, particularly the master's students, a lot of you have to go back because then a lot of the students want to remain to try to blend into the society, and for the most part, the immigration rules are never really, favorable. Most of them are going to go back to their home countries. Guess what? The next batch of students, international students, have arrived. They bring them into the church to replace you and to make sure the offering, the money, keeps going. That's how it works, man. Sell you hope. In fact, somebody told me a lot of these churches that have branches, this is why I told you they're franchises. When you, the pastor, go set up your own, that's why they have regional pastors, right? There is a set percentage that these branches must remit to the headquarters on monthly basis. Oh, maybe you didn't know. So if you know of a particular church in a particular city, in every corner you find their branches, in every street you find their branches, you're thinking, oh, it's because they love you so much and love the gospel. No, they love the money. It's business. It's the same way you find McDonald's there, you find McDonald's there, you find a Burger King over there, you cross the road, you go 2 stops, you find a KFC. It's business. Why do you think a McDonald's is everywhere? Oh, because McDonald's loves you and I so much. No, in exchange for their menu, they want our money, right? It's simple as that. Everybody gets paid. Don't get it twisted. We're going to have to do better, man. Oh, ye black man, oh, ye black woman. No disrespect to anyone's beliefs. You're within your rights, but I'm going to carry on using my voice, you know. No disrespect to anyone. This is not bashing, but let me tell you, man, do we really want to get better as a group of people? I was telling a gentleman yesterday, I've always said it, we are the best resource that we've got. Look at someone, a couple that haven't got money to pay for their immigration application. They're illegal. They're living in the shadow of the system. They can't even afford to pay the lawyers. They can't even afford to pay for their application, but they can religiously, monthly, from the bottom end jobs that they're doing to survive. And the woman has bad arthritis on top of that. They can give £200 in cash to some self-proclaimed pastor who lives in Kent, actually. No disrespect to Kenters. He lives in Kent in a gated community, driving a Bentley. That £200, if he was paying for that Bentley monthly, your £200, that's a fraction, a chunk of his monthly car notes on the Bentley. These people don't understand these things, man. But here you are, you're trapped in one room with your husband and 2 children. You're begging for rice and tomatoes, and you're saying, by the grace of God, by the grace of God, I will overcome the overcomers. Nah, man, you die in the trenches of poverty. Look at this. I know people, wow, who gave their benefit money to pastors as seed. That's evil. To be on benefits, what that person is saying, that's to be on state funds, man. I'll do Balaware. Fam. Anyway, that's me. You're ahead of the curve with your thinking, bro. I'm surprised some African pastor hasn't tried to exercise it. Oh, they can't. They don't like me. Look, let me tell you for a fact, man. They don't like me. I expect it. You know, I don't care, man. I don't like them. If I find myself in the barber shop, man, I don't like them. Let's any so-called pastor come and engage me, fam. Let's talk. How many lives have you genuinely being the objective word, affected positively? They're charlatans. Think about it, man. You adopt a position where a lot of fools that follow you, they religiously throw money, food, cars, clothing at you. They put you on pedestal and you're wallowing, you're enjoying that. Come on, man. It's lies. A lot of people are suffering. This is the black community. There's so many of our people. Some of my brothers and sisters might even be watching this. I don't know who is watching me. Some of you are watching me. You might even have immigration palaver. Some of you don't even have money to file your applications or to pay your lawyer. You're struggling to, on top of that, you want to pay your rent. Now, the pandemic has destroyed a lot of incomes. People are suffering, fam. Let's call a spade a spade. We're saying Happy New Year, right? Everybody's typing behind these devices. There are some people that it's really not Happy New Year for them because they are broke. They don't even know where the next meal. Some people, the rent is due this month. They don't know where the rent is going to come from. Facts only. Some charlatan somewhere on top of that will then further destroy you by imposing on you to part with your money. Or wait, no, Nisha, in exchange for hope. Come on, fam. And I remember when I used to belong in church, I remember I was once part of a men's meeting. This was years ago, right? And they were asking us to donate so that the church can buy a new auditorium. And all I said in one of the meetings was, sir, can we see like a breakdown of how much we've donated so far and like how much is remaining? And these pastor and the aides, the subordinate pastors, they took offense. Oh, you cannot be questioning the man of God. Oh, it's quite patronizing. Only. Or shot. Oh, you cannot be questioning authorities. And sorry, what's that? It's like, so a lot of you go to offices where you work. Some of you are accountants. You have payroll departments. You have departments where people look into, how much money do we have in here to pay wages? What do we have left in the company's business accounts? How can people be asking you to part with money? And then when it comes to them being accountable, this is public funds. Then they put up a brick wall to say to you that they have these specially made self-generated authority or oil dripping on their heads. Take a towel and clean the goddamn oil. Answer the question. So far, how much do you have left? You're asking everybody for money. You're saying you were building the house of God. Sorry, how much do you have left? How much have you raised? Oh, don't question the authority of the man of God. Okay. Some of you watching me have been fine-tuned mentally from childhood. This is what I keep talking about. Don't ask questions. Don't challenge. It's the way it's done. Keep your head down and do as you're told. This is why a lot of us are dying, are being suppressed, remain the way we are. You want everybody gotta be gongoshu, like a fool. Just keep on going like a sheep and conform. Someone like me, I'm not a conformist. We'll ask questions. Asking questions doesn't mean I disrespect you or I want to violate you. No. Anyways, that's me done. Bit of a rant there. When I was a 7-year-old, my mom sought assistance from the Catholic Church when we fell in hard times. The vicar took one look at me in leggings and said, "You people can't come here because of your child." Wow. Because she had on leggings. No. I think that vicar probably wanted a slice of that child. Nasty man in a cloak. They're not cool. But anyways, that's me done. It was a bit of a rant. It was very important for me to say that. And I will definitely catch you in the next one. Thank you for the super chat. Please smash the like button. Smash the like button. Smash the like button. Look, man, it's a brand new year. Bombard me with your stories, man. Foodchannel1960@gmail.com. Look in the description below on YouTube. Send me your stories, man. I'm asking you for stories, all right? If you want to share your stories with me that we can hopefully benefit from, like I said, I'll keep you anonymous. Bombard me with your stories. I need your stories, okay? Smash that like button, please. And yeah, thank you very much. Create a plan, okay? Have a to-do list. Baby steps are okay. And start working to the best of your knowledge. If you don't have money at the moment due to personal reasons, go on YouTube. Type, at least you can type, right? Type into YouTube, search for the keywords, look for what you're looking for, create a playlist and start watching. Start picking ideas, start seeing free videos. The beauty of YouTube is there's so many wonderful, wonderful, brainy creators that have made fantastic contents that you can benefit from for free. So before you get to the point where maybe you have to pay for an exam or something, there's so many things you can learn from, man. That's all I'm saying. That's the way we can go forward, man. All right. Foodchannel1960 at gmail.com. Look in my description below. And yeah, that's me done, man. Thank you very much. Happy New Year. And I will catch you in the next one. Gina, I see you. Thank you, Gina, for always supporting, man. Thank you, sis. Thank you, everybody. See ya.